This offer was really born out of necessity, mine and honestly yours. Welcome to the Self-Made Life podcast, the show for creative entrepreneurs who are building their dream business and life on their terms. I'm your host, Ashley Wyatt, designer, entrepreneur, mama of two, and founder of the Monarch Design Co. And I believe success isn't handed to you, you create it. Here, we're pulling back the curtain on what it really takes to run a business, the wins, the lessons, and the messy in between. Whether you're scaling your side hustle during nap time, redefining your brand, or ready to take your business full time, this show is your go-to for honest conversations, practical strategies, and inspiration to help you grow with confidence. Because being self-made isn't about doing it alone. It's about building a life and business that feels as good as it looks. So let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Made Life podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Wyatt. And today I've got my coffee. The baby monitor is on. So if you hear little baby coos in the background, well, welcome to the real behind the scenes of building a business while raising a family. My son is in preschool today. I am crossing my fingers that we don't get any calls. You know, that dreaded call when you see daycare or school pop up on your phone and you kind of panic. Well, that happened to us last week. Luckily he's okay. He just bumped his head, but of course it always throws a wrench in things, right? So today's episode is a personal one. So I wanted to take you behind the scenes of what really has been going on over here and how I've been navigating 2 back-to-back maternity leaves in 2 years and what it's actually looked like to rebuild and restructure my business during nap time, after bedtime, and the real reason why I've decided to offer one-on-one mentorships again. So if you're a creative entrepreneur and trying to scale and also keep a tiny human or multiple tiny humans alive, this one is for you. So let's rewind a bit. So before kids, I would work late. I would say yes to more than I wanted to. And I was just really figuring things out as I went. But then when I had my son, everything shifted. My priorities, my energy, and especially my time. Suddenly, I was just trying to breastfeed, bounce on a yoga ball, and finish client brand presentations all at once. And I thought, there really has to be a better way. And don't get me wrong, I had my incredible team, which I scaled before having kids, because I knew that was something that I wanted in the future, and they really supported me through fertility challenges and through pregnancy and after when I was freshly postpartum. But my offers were not scalable, and I was almost losing money just to kind of keep everything afloat. So this time around, I really had to take a step back and really look at things. And it was also out of need and necessity because I was the sole income provider of my family at the time after my husband lost his job. So I needed to make sure that I was profitable, and I needed to restructure everything. So I really just started refining my offers, simplifying my client processes. I really mapped out everything, all the SOPs, getting really clear on ClickUp and leaning in on my team more and more. But even with those changes, I realized how much support I didn't have. I had great support with my business, but then shifting into my husband then getting a job and commuting and not being home for 12 hours a day and becoming solo parenting a lot and also trying to run my business, I needed to outsource a lot of things, not just with my business, but in my personal life too. So, there's many courses out there and group programs, but nothing that really helped me ask, like, how do I structure my offers around this new season? And I am so done with taking advice from childless people because we don't all have the same 24 hours in a day. That's really not the reality for many working moms or dads. And how do you really prepare for maternity leave when you are also the sole income provider, maybe, or the breadwinner? Maybe you don't qualify for a traditional maternity leave, and how to really keep revenue flowing with a newborn. So I had to figure all this out the hard way twice. So that is why I am bringing everything that I've learned into this next chapter of one-on-one support. I was chatting with another biz friend who was wanting to grow her family, but she was like, I'm going to have to pause my business. And I was like, what do you mean? And I just started kind of chatting about what I did and how I've leaned on team support and other supports. And I thought that it was second nature, but I guess it wasn't. So that's kind of where I realized that there's a gap here that really, people in this season of life really need support with. So that was the gap that I saw. And I realized, there are just so many resources for starting your business, but there isn't a ton of resources once you're running, team members or growing your family and growing your business. What about that messy in the middle? Where are you growing, pivoting, hiring, raising prices, and also raising humans? That was kind of the gap that I saw that I needed to be okay, wait a minute, there has to be a better way. And there is. And that's kind of what I realized on my own and through working with other amazing business owners in different fields who have gone through their own journeys of scaling and raising their families. So most mentorships, I feel weren't designed for moms or people growing or that messy in the middle. And I realized that they don't need another 12-week group program. And I didn't want, someone to have to sit through another 5 modules before they got the answer they needed. So I thought back to what I needed support with. And it really was just 1 hour with someone who truly got it and who could look at my business from the outside, my life, and really help me figure out what made the most sense and really come up with a solid, actionable plan that made sense and was curated for me and the season that I was in. So I realized, well, what would that look like if I was able to then also give back by offering some sort of one-on-one support with people who are navigating their own messy middles. So that is why I created these mentorship calls. So this offer was really born out of necessity, mine and honestly yours. So every time I talk to an entrepreneur who was in the middle of maternity leave or thinking about growing their family, maybe having a second kid or navigating fertility and taking another maternity leave, or maybe they just returned to work and they were completely overwhelmed with client work and pricing, confusion, and just overall lack of clarity. I really just saw myself, and I really wanted to create something that gave us the space to breathe, zoom out, and really strategize and come up with a plan that truly moved the needle forward, both in business, but in your life as well. So these one-on-one consultant calls are really for busy business owners, especially service providers, think designers, strategists, coaches who need clarity now. So what you'll get is a 60-minute Zoom call to dive into whatever you are needing support with. Maybe that's preparing to return for maternity leave or offers and pricing. Maybe it's navigating a big life change. Maybe it's growing a family or becoming a single mom or a single parent, or it's navigating challenges with an elderly or sick parent and becoming a caregiver, delegating support and team support. Maybe it's visibility and marketing strategy. And maybe it's just being seen in this new season, because let's be honest, it is a wild one and it can be so foggy. And sometimes it's just nice to have someone to talk to who gets it and who can see the big picture and map out your next steps for success. So if you book a call, here is essentially what happens. So you'll fill out a short intake form so I know what season you're in and what you truly want to focus on. Then we'll meet on Zoom for one uninterrupted hour. And then we don't waste a second, because I know that your time is valuable, and we'll get right into the real stuff. And then I'll share feedback and strategies and suggestions and actionable steps from both a creative director's lens and a mom who knows what it's like to run a business on borrowed time. So at the end, you'll walk away with those notes, those action steps, holding you accountable, and a clear direction forward, not just a bunch of ideas that you'll never implement. So these are real things that I want you to walk through and chip away at to help you reach your goals and to give you more space and clarity in your business and life. And, if you're listening to this and you're in the thick of it, I see you. I know how heavy it can really be when you're trying to grow and stay present at home. The mom guilt is so real. But I just want you to know you're not behind, you're not broken, and you're not meant to figure it out all alone. It really does take a village. So whether you're trying to restructure your packages, figure out childcare, or finally hiring someone so that you can breathe, this is your permission slip to just say yes and go all in and really support this next chapter. So let's make your business feel lighter and more aligned together. I am here for you. Spots are now open for these one-on-one mentorship calls. They are $250 for a 60-minute Zoom call. And I'm pouring everything I've learned into helping you grow your business in a way that actually supports your life and where you are now and where you want to go. So if this feels in alignment, I will add a link into the show notes where you can book yours, or just DM me the word mentor on Instagram or send me an email and we can chat through what you're experiencing and just make sure that it is in alignment for you. So let's build something that truly works for you and just get you untangled from that messy middle so that you can step into alignment, grow your business, and have more support in your life. Until next time, we'll chat soon. Bye now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on the Self-Made Life podcast. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend, leave a review, or hit follow so that you never miss an episode. Want to work together or grab some free resources? You can always find me over at www.themonarchdesign.co/podcast. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building, and go create your self-made life.
This podcast is produced, mixed, and edited by Cardinal Studio. For more information about how to start your own podcast, please visit www.cardinalstudio.co or email Mike at mike@cardinalstudio.co. You can also find the details in the show notes.